Here we will see Object Relational Mapping, that is ORM. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping, which is a coding tool that allows developers to interact with relational database using object-oriented programming instead of SQL queries. It translates your code into database commands automatically, and it maps database tables to C# objects, which make database operations more intuitive and efficient. Here, object is an instance of a class like user, product, or post. Here, each object usually contains attributes or fields that describes the object. For example, data class user contains attributes name of type string, email of type string, and age of type integer. Relational refers to the relational database like MySQL, PostgreSQL, or SQLite, which are the systems that stores data in tables that made up of rows and columns. Here each row is a single record like one user, and each column is a field like name, email, or age. Relational databases are great for organizing and querying structured data, and mapping is the glue that connects your objects and the database. That is, it is a linking of the fields of an object in your code to the columns of a database table. First, productivity. Data access code is usually significant while developing an application. But when we use ORM tool, the amount of code is reduced significantly. ORM tool generates 100% of data access code automatically, which are based on the data model. Application design. A good ORM tool is designed by very experienced software architect, so it will implement effective design pattern for your application, which helps to support a clean separation of concerns and independent development that allows parallel simultaneous development of application layer. Then code reuse. If you create a class library from ORM generated data access code, you can easily reuse the data objects in your different applications. And application maintainability. All code generated by ORM are well tested, so developers don't need to spend time for testing. And for long term, you can refactor the database schema or model identification without affecting how the application uses the data. And drawbacks of ORMs are insufficient performance. Since ORM frameworks are generic and versatile, but this can lead to insufficient performance in certain cases. Queries generated by ORM may not be optimal, which result in blockage and longer response time. For high performance, ORM might not be best choice. Then loss of control over database. When denormalization is necessary for adequate performance, developer might modify the abstraction classes for technical constraint, which is often anti-pattern. An impact on novice developer skills. ORM simplifies database management, but it has effect on skill development of new developers to tackle complexity of RDBMS, which can result in lack of understanding of fundamental database concepts, which can be detrimental in long term, and increase the complexity and framework dependency. ORM often adds a layer of complexity to an application. Strong dependency on ORM can make it challenging to switch or remove the ORM if needed, which limits the code portability.